What is up, guys? How y'all doing tonight? Welcome back to the channel for another episode of Game Night with Retro. So, welcome to the season summary show, right? So we're not having a game tonight, so we're just going over our season summary, all of our stats, right, of our individual players, our team rankings, the league leaders, and all that jazz. And then we'll, when we're done looking at all that, we are going to simulate the wild card games and see who's moving on to the divisional round. You know, basically, as one Cowboys coordinator said one time, we're going to see the difference between the contenders and the pretenders, right? I forget that guy's name. I know he went on to coach the Cleveland Browns for a couple 3 seasons, but he was a coordinator during for the Cowboys. I think during their Super Bowl years, right? So, but I remember seeing that on NFL films. So we're gonna separate who are the pretenders and from the contenders, right? But let's go over our stats here for our individual players. You know, so yeah, this is a little bit different. You know, usually when I would do these season summary shows, for Tecmo NES, it was just like a regular published video during the day. I didn't do it as a stream at night. But hey, something different, right? So, anyways, let's go down the line here and start with the offense. Our quarterback, our outstanding quarterback play from Chris Miller, right? He had a good, I'm going to say he had a pretty great season. He completed 77.8% of his passes for 4,066 yards, 42 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions, okay? So, yeah, not too bad there. 214.6 quarterback rating. His average pass completed was over 20 yards, right? So, yeah, we wasn't dinking and dunking it here. we was throwing the bombs, right, Josh? He's not a scrambler, but when he did have 15 runs for 59 yards and a rushing touchdown. Actually scored the last touchdown of the season, right, against the Cardinals. So we had a pretty good game against them. You know, we suffered a couple losses the previous 2 games to the Redskins and the Bengals, and was kind of in a funk, you know. And Chris Miller took it upon himself, and he took it personal. So yeah, that game against the Cardinals, he laid it up. I'm gonna say he had we scored 37 points, and it was all offense. I think he accounted for every touchdown, through the air and on the ground, right? I don't think Broussard or Dickerson had a rushing touchdown. We couldn't run that good coming down the stretch. We just couldn't. But yeah, Chris Miller, outstanding season. I'm gonna say he's a lock for the Pro Bowl. Bobby Hebert did not see any action. Miller was solid. He didn't get hurt at all during the season. All right, running back Eric Dickerson, 138 carries, 622 yards, 4.5 yard average, 9 rushing touchdowns. Later in the season, he became a pretty good weapon for us receiving the ball. He had 27 catches, 416 yards, and 2 receiving touchdowns. So, yeah, Eric Dickerson, he had most of his rushing, in the first half of the season, but then it started winding down as when we got late in the year. But yeah, so year, you know, so I guess. But I'm on the so on the rushing. I'm gonna say for the receiving, pretty good, pretty darn good. Receiver Michael Haynes, he just had some kind of limited spot duty. 11 catches, 301 yards, and 3 touchdowns. He is on excellent though, so he will be starting our first game in the playoffs. Whoever that is will be against. Steve Broussard, other running back, just here and there on the rushing anyway. 30 runs, 62 yards, 5 rushing touchdowns. But he did have 18 catches, 251 yards, and 5 receiving touchdowns. So our running backs were, getting it done. They were good pass catchers coming out of the backfield, right? Because hey, that's important because your wide receivers aren't always going to be open, or the play's just not going to be there. So sometimes you got to check it down and find another way. Go through your reads and do your check downs, right? Okay, our other running back, Keith Jones, limited action there. 5 rushes for 10 yards, 2 rushing touchdowns, 2 catches, 41 yards, and a receiving touchdown. Drew Hill, pretty good season, even though, like I said, Michael Haynes came in later because Drew Hill kind of got on bad, so Haynes got in the lineup. But pretty decent there. 28 catches, 649 yards, and 3 receiving touchdowns. I'm gonna say he had kind of low touchdowns for his catches. 28 grabs. You figured it'd be, but that's just the way it worked out. All right, our standout wide receiver, Andre Bad Moon Rison, right? 39 receptions for 1,639 yards, a 42-yard average. Look at that, 42-yard average exactly, 42 yards a catch, right? That's insane. And 18 receiving touchdowns. So yeah, Chris Miller to Andre Rison was a thing this year, right? I knew we had a good feeling it would be. So that's insane. 42 yards per catch. Talk about the bomb, right? So, and what was that? Yeah, over 1,600 yards. That's a monster season in anybody's book, I'm gonna say. Tony Smith did not see the action except for 1 punt return for 5 yards. Okay. Tony Jones, nothing. Yeah, I'm gonna say we did have some good fortune this year with injuries. We did not get bit by the injury bug too much that I can recall. So hey, knock on. Does a cardboard box count? I'm knocking on that. It comes from wood, right? All right, our last wide receiver here, Mike Pritchard. 29 catches, 769 yards, and 10 receiving touchdowns. So, between Pritchard, Rison, Haynes, and Hill, right? We was lighting it up. We're putting up the numbers. Jason Phillips did not see any action here. There's our offensive line. All right, let's go to the defense. Pierce Holt, he had 4 sacks. Torrey Epps had nothing, no stats, but they don't always show like batted passes or fumble recovery, stuff like that. But no sacks or interceptions for him. Mo Gardner, 2 sacks. Darian Connor had 1 sack. And he's on excellent too. Keep that in mind. Jesse Solomon, 4 sacks. Jesse Tuggle, 5 sacks. Chuck Smith, 2 sacks. And I remember at a fumble recovery for a touchdown. He got one against the Bengals there, even though we lost the game. Prime time, Deion Sanders had 7 interceptions for 37 yards return and a sack. And you do see, and also his kick return numbers there. 48 kick returns for 971 yards, a 20-yard average, and 3 kick returns for touchdowns. So prime time was high stepping there. Different times during the season. Good solid season for prime time. I'm gonna say he's probably locked for the Pro Bowl too, between the returns and his interceptions there. Elvin Jenkins had nothing, even though he's on excellent. Might control him during the playoffs. Yeah, because Deion's on bad. Deion kind of got burnt a couple times late in the year. Scott Case had 2 interceptions. Jeff Donaldson had 1 interception. Bruce Pickens, yeah, these 2 guys didn't see the field. Our kicker, Norm Johnson, he was 59 out of 63 on extra points and 12 out of 13 on field goal attempts. So pretty solid season for Norm there. Scott Fulhager, punter, had 6 punts for 380 yards, 63.3 yard average. Alright, there's our individual stats. We went 14-2 on the season, and I did figure it up. The Falcons, we do have home field advantage, right? Because the Eagles went 14-2 also. So therefore it came down to points. We scored 88, well, we was 88 points better than they were, right? So yeah, we was lighting it up. Yeah, let's just go look at that real quick. Since I brought it up. So let's go to the Eagles first. Yeah, they scored 430 points, and they gave up 291. 430. So we scored 477 and gave up 250, right? So yeah, we scored more than they do. 77 and yeah, so we scored more than they did, and we gave up less than they did. They gave up 291. We gave up 250, so yeah, but it came down to 88 points difference, right? So I was concerned there because we lost, and then it's like yep, they was still but they lost their they lost their last 2 games of the season basically because they was 14-0. So yeah, it came down to the points in. So we'll be so this road to the Super Bowl goes through Atlanta. That's right. All right, let's look at our team rankings here. Offense. 49ers had the #1 offense in the league. Where was we at? There we are. We're number 6. #1 passing though. I knew that, right? #1 passing team in the league. Alright, how was we on defense? #1 defense in the league. #2 against the pass. #1 against the rush. Haha. Alright. So #1 offense and #1 defense. So, booyah. Alright, let's check out the league leaders here. Passing, Chris Miller, #1 quarterback in the league. Was that any surprise? Wow, 214 rating. The next closest guy is Jim Kelly. His rating was 173. I like that. 4,000 yard season, 42 touchdowns, 4 picks. Not bad. Chris Miller getting it done this year. He lit it up. He was lighting up the scoreboard there. A lot of times it was like a pinball machine, right? Like ding, 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 ding. Love it. Yeah, let's check out the top 10 quarterbacks. It's, Jim Kelly, Steve Young, John Elway, Troy Aikman, #5. Randall Cunningham was 6. Mark Griffin, number 7. Warren Moon, 8. Dan Marino, number 9. And Sean Salisbury, number 10. Are you kidding me? Beat out Brett Favre. How about that? Sean Salisbury. Never would have thought that. Alright, receiving here. Jerry Rice. That's on receptions. Let's go to yards. Rice still edged us out just by a little bit. He had 1694, we had 1639. I bet we're gonna beat him on the average there. Yeah, Andre Rison, 42 yards a catch. That's best average in the league. And how about receiving touchdowns? Andre Rison, 18, number 1. Haywood Jeffers had 16. I think we'd be up there with yards and yards per catch and touchdowns. Rushing, we're not going to be there. Foster, Smith, Thomas, Allen, Sanders, Walker. Weiner. Waters, okay. Let's look out the top 10 receivers here. Sharp, Jeffries, Dawsey, Davis, Burkett, Fryer. Oh, there was punting. We had the best punter in the league with a 63.3 yard average there. The next closest guy was Denver's Mike Horan, who averaged 51. So we beat him by 12 yard average there. And about 6. Oh, Swilling for the Lions, huh? There's Bruce Smith for the Bills. Wow, Edmond of the Colts. Burnett of the Brownies. Smith of the Raiders. Reggie White for the Packers. Harris for the Eagles. I just noticed that. Yeah, the Packers and Eagles, it's almost like they swapped Tim Harris and Reggie White, right? It's like they left. Maybe it was a trade. I don't remember, but it's like that would have been cool if like Tim Harris and Reggie White could have been on the same squad there. O'Neal for the Chargers, Neil Smith for the Chiefs. Kickoff returns. Well, primetime Wayne number 1. He is number 4. Yeah, because later in the year he didn't get, a couple of times he should have took a touchback, but his ego kind of how his ego was, so he wanted to be the center of attention there. So yeah, he took it. Sometimes he took it out when he shouldn't have. But still a good return season there for old prime time. Punt returns, yeah, punt returns is hard on this game. How about our interception leaders? Darryl Green for the Redskins, number 1. Anderson of the Raiders. Lewis Oliver of the Dolphins, number 3. Kelso of the Bills. Alright. And scoring. Emmitt Smith of the Cowboys, number 1 scorer in the league, 27 touchdowns. There's Andre Rison there, number 9 on scoring. There's our kicker, Norm Johnson there, number 17. Alright, I think there's the season summary. I think now it's time to get the game started here to see who's moving on to the next round. So we got the wild card games first. We got the Raiders and the Steelers starting things off. Meanwhile, I need me a drink. I got me a grape Sunkist. I guess Sunkist 0. Oh, the Raiders by 1 point. 24-23. Snoozer loser. Season is over. I was like, yep. I'm not really a Raiders fan, but I'll root for them over the Steelers. 24-23 is the final. The Raiders are moving on to the divisional round to take on the Buffalo Bills. Raiders-Bills. Yeah, that could be interesting. Let's continue. Okay, next up we got the Cowboys and Saints in the wild card. NFC wild card. Von Dunbar returning for the Saints here. Ooh, the Cowboys in a dominating performance, 28-7. Cowboys moving on to the divisional round. I'm not surprised at that, not surprised at that at all. Cowboys move on to take on their divisional opponent, their divisional rival, Philadelphia Eagles at Philly, at the Vet, right? Be interesting, Josh. But your Cowboys are moving on. They're alive for at least one more week, man. Let's continue here. Next game is the Seattle Seahawks traveling to San Diego, taking on the division champion Chargers. Chargers 20-6. Chargers move on to face the Houston Oilers in the divisional round. And the next game is the Niners and the Lions wild card. Let's see, where's that game at? This game would be at Detroit since the Lions were division champs. The Pontiac Silverdome. And the 49ers take care of business against the Lions. I kind of had a feeling it was going to go that way. So we'll be after the play of those Niners again. Fiddlesticks. $10. There you go. There's the wild card games are in the books there. Raiders, Chargers move on, advance to the AFC side. Cowboys, Niners on the NFC. Okay, guys. Well, that concludes our season summary show. So, thanks for tuning in. We had a. What did you think of our Atlanta Falcons season this year? For those of you who was with us for most of the season, right? I think it was a pretty kick-ass season, and we had fun, right? It was fun. I enjoyed it. We wanted to take them through for a while. Kind of had them on the back burner for a while. It was kind of in the back of my mind, But finally got it done. The season's in the books. Now we just got to go through the postseason. Hopefully we can go all the way. But it ain't gonna be easy. I'll tell you that, because first up we got to go against the Niners, of course. Right? I mean, bam, right there. There's chow. Then if we get past them, we got either the Eagles or the Cowboys to contend with. So to make it to the Super Bowl. So who knows who's going to be in the Super Bowl. But yeah, we don't have an easy path, so it ain't going to be no walk in the park, I don't think. So hope you tune in tomorrow night. So yeah, we're just starting tomorrow night. We're getting this thing going. Want to get this season in the books here, including the playoffs, right? So hopefully we can take it all the way. But yeah, tomorrow night, Falcons 49ers from Fulton County Stadium. So hope to see you there, okay? So until then, have a good one. I'll see you when I see you. But if this is your first time to the channel, tap subscribe, then the bell ding ding, so you're notified when I upload new videos. So until next time, guys, stay frosty, keep it retro, and come Lord Jesus.
We're fighters for truth, justice, and the American way.
And liftoff. We have liftoff. Challenger has cleared the tower.